Thank you.
It's not cold.
It's not, it's hot.
Thank God.
Go ahead.
All right, I have the time as 2:03 PM, and I'd like to call the Monday, September 8th, 2025, Bossier City-Parish Metropolitan Planning Commission meeting to order. Our invocation today will be done by Mr. Thigpen, and our Pledge of Allegiance by Colonel Haddon. Please rise.
Stand while I pray. Dear Lord, thank you for this city, for this body of volunteers that work on this board. We thank you for the military that we have here, Lord, the Air Force and their presence. We pray for those individuals. We include in that our first responders, police, fire, and all the city, Lord, that we just ask that you watch over them. We thank you for all that they do for us and for this city, and we just would ask for your wisdom in our decisions made in this board, that they would honor you. In Jesus' precious name, amen.
Amen. Hey, Colonel, wanted to recognize you. Glad to have you here and representing Barksdale. So would you all please join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Katie, if we can have our roll call, please, and our decorum statement.
Jim Fine? Mr. Fine? Dave Haddon?
Here, ma'am.
Donnie McDaniel?
Here.
Michelle Wallace?
Here.
Art Schultz is absent. Jeff Thigpen?
Here.
Chris Turner?
Here.
And we do have a quorum.
All right. So I need to get a motion and a second to approve our agenda.
Do the decorum speech, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, decorum.
In accordance with Louisiana open meeting law, the Bossier City-Parish MPC asks for order and decorum at our meetings. Please silence your cell phones. For anyone who wishes to address the commission on any item on the agenda, we ask that you come forward, identify yourself for the audio record, and sign in. Speakers must address the MPC board at all times. For those that would like to make a comment on an item, please limit your comment to 3 minutes on a particular item that's up for discussion. All other audience members are asked to observe the meeting quietly. If there's a need for an audience member to hold a conversation or take a phone call, you're asked to please step out of the meeting.
Thank you, Katie. All right.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
Second.
All right, that motion carries. Okay, so next on the agenda is our visitors, Miss Lynn Bryan with Keep Bossier Beautiful.
Hello, thank you for allowing me to come and share a little bit with you guys about some of the things that Keep Bossier Beautiful is doing to work with you and others to keep Bossier Parish and Bossier City clean and green. So I wanted to share a few things we've done this year, just some highlights. We started out the year by recycling 200 Christmas trees at Cypress Spec Bayou, building fish habitat. In January, I went to the Keep America Beautiful conference in Washington, D.C. with Lieutenant Governor and others, and met with our legislators to request resources to enhance our Welcome to Bossier gateways. We've planted 50 bald cypress trees in South Bossier. We partner with local businesses who do a great job of keeping their flower beds and the exteriors of their buildings clean and green. And we give them a gift card and a sign because we want them to know that we appreciate them taking care of our communities. We had our first Trashin' show. That's a fashion show made from trash with our students this year, and it went really well. And we do work to take care of our flower beds at our gateways, even in the rain. We also have our big cleanup that we do once a year. It's called Operation Clean Sweep in partnership with the city and the Bossier Sheriff's Office and the police jury. And this year we had an amazing team as always. We had 14,000 pounds of debris removed from our community. We planted 50 trees in Brownlee Park, or North Bossier Park. And when, most of those were dwarf magnolias, and 2 weeks later, they were blooming, and it was so gorgeous there. There's another beautification award winner. And we worked with our students. We worked with 4th and 5th graders this year to pick up #1 plastics. And you'd be surprised what 4th graders would do for a pizza party, but it was very successful and educational. And this is our compactor that's back behind the courthouse in Benton, and was donated by Keep Bossier Beautiful for recycling of paper and cardboard, and that's some of the courthouse employees that were in a contest to recycle. And these are some of the students from local high schools who work to clean up their campuses. And we partnered this year for the first time with Shreveport Green for a double citywide cleanup. We are working on the Greatest American Cleanup. And we had our first ever large water cleanup at Lake Bistineau, and we literally picked up a ton of debris out of the lake, and it was really a very good response. And we've been super blessed by the Lord. We've gotten several grants that are helping us in this work. Our AEP Foundation grant will enhance our outdoor classroom. It's a 22-foot trailer that we will pull up into the school parking lot. We'll unload our canopies and tables and chairs, and then rotate the 4th graders through there for litter education. And then we've got a couple of grants with Keep Louisiana Beautiful, one of which you may have already seen some results of this grant on our local Channel 3 TV, some awareness ads and some billboard ads with Lamar. And we were really fortunate to land a $20,000 grant with Keep America Beautiful for helping to get rid of the #1 recycled item in the world, which is cigarette butts. And we are placing these receptacles on the East Bank, at the lake, and various parks around Bossier to hopefully allow individuals a safe place to dispose of their cigarette butts. And we're also working with Keep America Beautiful for our greatest 250th anniversary. We are partnering with all 700 affiliates in America to pick up 250 billion with a B pieces of litter. But before our 250th anniversary, we've been working on this for 2 years, and we'll finish that up in July. And we just last Friday, my team doesn't even know about this yet, we got a Arbor Day Foundation grant for almost $14,000 for a program called Plant a Tree, Plant a Flag. And we'll be giving away 250 trees on November the 8th and 250 trees on the 15th in between Veterans Day to honor our veterans and prepare for our 250th anniversary. And I just want to finish up with this last slide here. And Keep America Beautiful, to be in good standing with an affiliate, you have to do an annual review of litter in your parish. All 700 affiliates in America use the same statistical method to measure litter. And when we started measuring litter here in Bossier Parish, we were pretty amazed at how much litter we did have, because it goes out in all of the rural areas. We measure it on a scale of 1 to 4. 1 is no litter. Number 4 is incredibly littered. So 5 years ago, we had a score of 1.77. This year, I'm very pleased to report that we had a score of 1.49. And that is the culmination of a lot of individuals and agencies working together. That's the sheriff's office, the sheriff's office, the city, the parish, DOTD, and others who are contributing to that. But we are seeing a decrease in litter in our parish. I hope you guys have noticed it too. We're pretty excited about it. And then I'll just end with our fundraiser that we have coming up on September the 21st. If anybody might want to support our work and our mission, you can find information about this on our website at keepbossierbeautiful.com. Let me just end by saying that we want to partner with you. If you have projects that fit within our realm of responsibility, we'd love to hear from you and help you in any way, because we're all working for the same thing, to keep Bossier Parish clean and green. So that's all that I have.
Thank you, Ms. Bryan.
I would like to say that Ms. Bryan had a team out cleaning out the ditches over by Hobby Lobby and Five Below. I mean, how many carts did you retrieve?
16 shopping carts out of that ditch beside Hobby Lobby. Yeah,
16 shopping carts out of there.
Yeah.
So they are doing the dirty work on behalf of Bossier City, Bossier Parish. I mean, I think they were fighting off snakes and some other things to
Snapping
keep,
turtles. Yeah.
snapping turtles
Yeah.
to keep Bossier beautiful. So we commend you on the work that you
Thank
do
you
for
very
Bossier
much.
City,
It's an
Bossier
honor to
Parish.
represent this group. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. I think the next on the agenda is Colonel Lance McGinnish with the 2nd Division Mission Support Group Commander.
So good afternoon, everyone. Lance McInnes, the Mission Support Group Commander here at Barksdale Air Force Base. I was asked to come by Miss Askew Brown, and so sort of a open forum for you all to ask me questions. I'll give you a quick update on where we are and what we've got going on as far as things that you're probably already tracking. So our I-220 gate is still currently on track to open in the April timeframe, so a little less than a year from now. So we'll work through that. Also, I know you all are tracking that, the MAC and Barksdale, we went down and talked to the Louisiana legislature, and we got some funding to help offset some of the new gate, to make it a 4-star entrance to the gate coming in to the base. So I know we'll work through that. Also, working with Senator Bass and the legislature earlier this year, we got extended out the no drone zone around Barksdale Air Force Base, and I know we worked that also with our first responders in the local area to make them aware of that, and they were on board with that as well. So those are a few big things we have going on. Also, we've got 75 new airmen and their families coming on board in the next 6 months. So that's going to be schools, that's going to be housing, that's going to be all those things that go with those families that'll be coming in. And the majority of those will be defenders. So with the new mission set that we've got scheduled to come in the 28, 29 timeframe, we're just building up to get ready for that new mission set. And so with that, those are the big rocks we have, but I'll open the floor for any questions, concerns, or anything that you may have.
2 questions.
Yes, sir.
Colonel, one, and that you mentioned the 28, 29 timeframe. Don't want to get too specific on the mission, but how many people do you think might be coming?
So we've already brought 100 airmen in and their families last fiscal year. We've got another 75 coming in, and that's just for the defenders. And so I know of another 10 airmen families coming in for a special communication security program that'll be associated with it. And then we also have another 100 families on the maintenance side, so the maintenance of the new weapon system that's coming online.
Okay.
But they'll come a little later, closer to the mission set. So we've got a significant mission increase that's coming, and so with that, our school liaison officers have been getting word out through the school systems and all, because it's going to be we're in the ultimate team sport with you all, with the mission set we have coming, and with the people and airmen that we'll have coming in, where there's schools and housings and utilities, you name it, just think of what that's going to do for the local area and for Barksdale. Yes, sir.
The new gate, will that be open? Is that a restrictive gate, or will it be, can anyone come in that gate?
So that will, as of right now, we'll see how the traffic flow works once we open it. But the intent is for that to be the new main entrance for Barksdale Air Force
Okay.
Base.
Colonel, going back to the air show, we invited some legislators from South Louisiana. I believe 39 showed up, and the majority of those 39 told me that at 2 o'clock they needed to be on a bus and leaving. At 4:30, only one had left. You absolutely blew them away. And I think in turn, they have come back saying they want all 105 representatives and I think 39 senators to come. And I think they are going to give you guys $250,000 for the air show. I think that's what they had mentioned before.
So, sir, you're correct. I don't know the exact breakout, but from our take, we hosted a little under 100 elected officials, whether that was federal, state, local. It was a little under 100. And it was a great time for everybody from the feedback we received. And I think it's the Speaker of the Louisiana Senate, am I saying that right?
The President
of the Senate.
President.
He did make a change in that from now on, if I'm saying this correctly and understand it correctly, they are going to fund the air show every 2 years the same way they fund the Sugar Bowl. Whatever funding stream and whatever amount, it will be treated the same way.
Well, good. You
If
guys
that
did
makes
just a fantastic job.
Yeah. Like I said, though, it's a partnership, especially with all the things that we have going on. And so it was a great success on our side as well with the air show.
Colonel, what are y'all gonna do with the land where the golf course was there? Does that turn into housing?
So I don't want to speak out of turn. We've got I got a new boss, right? And we also have a new 4-star change of command coming up. We're just waiting on the Senate confirmation process for the current 4-star to go to his next job. So that's sort of the holdup in the timing. But there will be a change of command coming up, I would think, probably in the next 60 days, probably, if I were to guess. So once General Bossier gets the Senate confirmation to whatever his new position will be, then that'll free up for his replacement to come in, so be on the lookout for that. And I've heard multiple things in regards to that land. And so,
Wait and see, huh?
right, it may go back to what it was before.
That would be
We'll
awesome.
just see.
Okay.
But those are talks going on, if we can somehow partner with the local community to possibly bring that golf course back. And like I said, I don't want to speak out of turn, but those are some things we're talking about. Years ago, we used to get appropriated dollars where we could sustain a golf course and think, but that, with the federal budget the way it is, we don't get those dollars anymore. So it would have to be self-sustaining. And so I don't know if we could do that on our own. And so we may have to reach out and try to do some type of partnership with the local community if we want to try to bring that 18-hole course back. Or whether we start with maybe just 9, see how that goes, and then get into, but there are discussions that we're starting to make in regards to do that. But housing is not on
Okay.
and as a matter of fact, we're going to demo more of our historic housing on base. That's already been approved. And so we'll be demoing some of those older historic homes later this year in '26.
Colonel, are you able to speak on the program that sends airmen home for the holidays?
Yes, so that program is, we work that with the MAC, the Military Affairs Council. I'm sure you all are aware of that. And so we raise money on base. The MAC is hosting a golf tournament to raise money for it. And then all the proceeds, and we sell tickets. You come on base, and it's an Oktoberfest event. We got an Oktoberfest-like band and all those kind of things. And then all the money raised, we work through our first sergeants, of course, and we send airmen home, whether we buy them gas so that they can get home, or we've also bought airline tickets. And so last year we sent 2 or 3 airmen home back to the continent of Africa to visit over the holidays with their families. So it's, I think we did, a little over 17,000 last year, if I remember right. And we were able to help send a lot of airmen home for the holidays. So that's a big event, and that's Friday, October 3rd or 4th. It's in conjunction with Celebrate Barksdale. So when the MAC comes out and they do the big lunch for us on base, that afternoon will be the Oktoberfest event on base. What else?
Well, I'd just like to, we appreciate everything the Air Force does here, and if there's something that you need from this group or somebody in the community, reach out, and I think there'll be somebody that would step up.
Yes, sir. And so, Jeff, I work with you in your other capacity, I think. I didn't know you did this, but yeah, they came out and cleared all of our power lines on base for us, so they made a donation to the Air Force in order to be able to do that. And so
Trying to keep the
that's
lights
made
on.
a big difference. Sir?
Trying to keep the lights on.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So it's been good, but it's a great partnership. I've been in the Air Force 28 years, and this is with the relationship with the local community here in Barksdale. Not exaggerating, but this is the best I've ever seen. And so hopefully we can continue that with the new mission sets that we have coming in line in the next few years.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, Katie, I think we can move into our public hearings now, if you don't mind reading the first one on the agenda.
Have CZON 672025, the application of Michael Kelch, Rayleigh and Associates for AJ Real Estate Holdings LLC, requesting a zoning amendment to change the zoning classification of a certain tract of land being 1.837 acres more or less from RLD Residential Low Density to B3 General Business, located at 4208 Benton Road, Bossier City, Louisiana, for a commercial strip center or an automotive sales lot. Bossier City Council District 5, Police Jury District 6.
Hey, good afternoon. Michael Kelch with Rayleigh and Associates here representing the owner. As you know, we've been deferred or postponed twice, and we've narrowed it down to those two items that were just mentioned. So I'm here to answer any questions you have.
See, Michael, I think we've narrowed it down to what, an
Automobile
yeah,
sales lot, which, you know, that auto shop, and I mentioned this to Carolina, will have potentially some sort of repair along with it, just like in, you know, all the other car dealerships have, and maybe some sort of washing station, you know, I don't know that
and
for sure.
then the other is a
Like
strip center.
like your typical strip center that you
Okay.
see around town, Airline, Benton Road.
Yeah, that one, for me, I can't speak for the board, still has me concerned, because on the strip center, I don't know what's gonna go in there, and there is a neighborhood behind, and I think I have a responsibility to protect those neighbors. I think they need to know what's going in, and so that's just my kind of thought. But board, if you have any other thoughts?
And I think I sent the MPC staff as part of that strip center. It was still scratched out to be what would be in that, you know, what types of businesses would be in that strip center. Just your typical smaller possible restaurant. I mean, you see them, Subways, and then, you know, office, potentially bank type things. I mean, just same situation as you've seen around town.
I think the concern is, you know, once something is moved to B3, there's no real way for, you can't control what's coming in after, to a point, and it can become unmanageable for the office with the MPC to just track that over time as to what's been allowed and what has not been allowed, or like this list of things being marked off. That's pretty hard to kind of track and keep track of that over time.
Well, I'll say from our standpoint that this particular site, you know, if you look at it more as, I think, what areas the city would like to see B3, this is it. I mean, your Benton Road, you got B3 all around you. I mean, I don't know what else we can do from our side as far as you know, getting this land developable. I mean, right now it's a abandoned house that,
Well,
Yeah.
one thing he could do is tell us what he wants to put in there.
well, he doesn't know for sure. He's trying
Well,
to sell it.
Then why can't he just wait until he figures that out? What is the rush to turn it to B3 today?
Well, I mean, you've got to get it to B3 to market it to
So
different
he's marketing it to
strip
sell?
centers. And I will
So
say,
he doesn't know that it's gonna be an auto sales?
I will
or
say
what it's-
he's in the car business, and he's here, he can speak. He came to the meeting today. He's leaning towards the car business. And, you know, so if he can come up and speak towards that. If y'all want to narrow it down just to the auto car sales,
Yeah.
then maybe we can do that as well.
Hey,
I'm James Ardazy, owner of AJ Real Estate Holdings. And, you know, I had two things I wanted to do, was a strip center, of course, and, you know, I can't determine what kind of business is gonna go in. I feel your concern there. But, you know, I have a duty here, just as you. I live in the parish also, very close to there, so I'm gonna want something more advantageous for, for my surrounding area. So, it's up to me as landlord to say yes or no, you can use this property for that sort of business or not. So, as a strip center, it would have to be something like, a Subway, like he was saying, or something that gives the community a common play, it's not just it's not the nightlife or the bars or the liquor stores. There's plenty of that everywhere. We don't need any more of that. There is a buffer. If you look at that plot of land, you've got a creek bed on one side, and then you've got a creek bed behind it. So you've got a good buffer from those areas, from those homes. So, my thing is I'm trying to figure out exactly what kind of funding I can get from the bank so I can develop this property. Me personally, if I can get a strip center there, I'd love to, because it gets me out of the realm of having to deal with everyday business decisions. I've got 2 businesses here locally that I deal with. I don't know if I need a 3rd location. But I do have a car lot. I have 2 locations. In Bossier, I have one. It's the old Bailiff Autos building right next door to Griff's. And I redid that building, and, business is flourishing. So I don't have a problem necessarily if that doesn't, if I can't make the numbers work for me on a strip center to make it an auto center. But again, I'd have to have a repair center there, because everybody knows when you're dealing with used cars, you have to fix them, you have to, service them, for the public. So those are the 2 things that I have narrowed it down to. And just like he said, we had a laundry list of do's and don'ts that I believe all of you wanted me to check off, and I'm in total agreement to that. Those are the businesses that I wouldn't want around me either. So I'm in total agreement to that. So it's if we do a strip center, it's something for, the person in our local community that's wanting to start his own business and thrive. That's kind of what it is. But it's just going to be a nice, clean setup. That's what I'm looking to do. So if you have any questions for me, I'd be more than happy to answer.
So you'll be developing this, you will not be selling it?
I'll be developing, yes. Previously, there was a home there with the roof falling in, with squatters in it that we had to get out so we could bulldoze the property. So I've already got thousands of dollars invested in this piece of dirt, so, I want to develop it. I'm a big buyer at foreclosures, housing foreclosures here in Bossier Parish. I've bought over 150 houses in the last 9 years at the courthouse. So, my job is to go in there, fix them up, get a good person to buy the home and raise property taxes and, values of the area. That's what I'm here for. I live here just like y'all. I don't plan on going anywhere. I want to make the area as best I can.
Typically, we approve B3 when we know exactly what's going to go in, so we can make sure that, like, the homeowners behind this property, so that they'll know exactly what's going in. And so I just don't understand why we can't wait till you can positively determine what you would like to do.
Well, the funding that even if I did the strip center, I can't make a positive case on any business that's going to be there. It could be a Subway, and then it could be a boutique, I can't decide that.
It could be B1 stuff, it could be B2 stuff.
It could, but don't you want the option for a B3 business to be there, I think it limits me for who I'm having able to rent this property.
I just would like to know what your plans are before I approve something that's B3, when you can turn around tomorrow, sell the property. I don't know that you're not going to do that.
Not going to do that.
But I know, but something could happen.
Sure.
And now I've approved a B3 that I have no idea what's going in.
Well, Mr. Hayden, a man's only as good as his word, and you've got my word here today that I'm not going to do that. I haven't taken the time or energy or the money to invest in that property to just sell it. That's not what I'm going to do.
Okay. No, no further questions from me.
Could you sign in on the sheet?
Sure.
Thank you.
Michael Kelch, I'll also add, with a strip center, it's almost impossible, and we've developed several of these strip centers around, and some of them we've gotten B3 zoning without telling y'all what we're putting in. And I know y'all might be trying to go to that, but it's almost impossible to do that. You have to put the shell of the building up, and before you can really get renters to show up to the property to decide whether they're gonna be there or not. So, I mean, there's been several instances where we've put a 60 by 100 building with 5 units, and then you go out and market it to Subway or market it to a boutique, and that's how you get them to come. They don't just come when there's nothing there a lot of times. Sometimes they do, but, and so that's all I wanted
I
to say.
haven't advertised anything yet. What I'm trying to do is build it so they'll come. That's what I'm trying to do.
I mean, it's my understanding that we've never approved anything B3 without knowing
That's
what was
not true.
going there.
We,
Is that not-
the board hasn't made it a habit of doing that.
Okay.
There are several different instances, like if it's surrounded by B3, it may lean more towards a B3,
Okay.
but this instance, it's, you know,
Not completely surrounded.
correct. I mean, it's case by case.
I
It's
see.
not entirely
Okay.
correct. We also received a couple of comments from the neighbors about the current state of the lot. Is it intended to be bush hogged, or how is it being maintained?
As of right now, I don't intend to do anything. I intend to try to get, some approval where I can start, construction on this property. That's why I haven't maintained it. There's no point in maintaining a lot that I can't do anything on, I mean, right now, it's just dirt, it's zoned residential, there's not a whole lot there, but if I need to get over there to bush hog it, I don't have a problem, but, when we have construction going on, that's, it's gonna change the whole face of it. Once that house left, which was, falling in on itself, it just made it an ugly face of Swepco's power station right there on Benton Road. So now when you're headed towards Benton, all you see is that power station there. So, I'm trying to do something with the property, but I need your help. I need the board's help.
Okay, I'll ask. Is there anybody from the audience? I'd like to open it up to public comment.
Stephen Kyle Wannenberg. I'm at 202 Walnut. I'm the property due east. I have no problem with commercial on Benton. I'm working on that myself. The only thing I'm worried about is there was a nice hedge of trees. I know it didn't look great, but it did block a lot of sound, a lot of visual from the substation of lights beaming into my backyard. And there is Benoit Bayou. And the way the property lines work, I believe that property comes just to the edge on the other side, on my side, but I keep it maintained on our side. I have no problem with, I think the time I read the documents, it's from access, 6 a.m. business to midnight is B3, I believe. So as long as there's some type of visual and sound barrier, I have no problem. Even just a well-maintained hedge, whether it be some type of vegetation or a wall, because there is no fence system there. As soon as he bush hogs it too, I can see clear to Benton. If it is like a car lot, they're gonna be seeing me, or I'm hanging out with my kids while I'm watching people shop for cars, And I don't know because it's levee board there, that's Benoit Bayou, so it's still considered. I talked to my neighbor who's into, he's into real estate, that's still considered a navigable canal. It's still documented as that. So we had to get tons of approval just to put a shop back there within 100 feet of the canal. So as long as I don't know if I can even build a fence either because of the way the property lines are or with levee board. So, I'm just asking, for some type of barrier between the houses and the businesses. If it is B3, as long as I have something like that, I don't have a huge complaint then.
Okay.
Thank you. Glad for your input. That's him, isn't it?
Anybody else?
No further comments?
If I may, with his statements there, it's really showing that something needs to be done soon with this property. And, me just bush hogging it and we put it on the back burner further, it's not helping the local community that surrounds that property. So I just want to make that statement.
Okay.
I do have some agreement with the strip center, but it's kind of, is it a strip center or is it a car lot? Because I understand what you're saying. If it is a strip center, that is somewhat typical of being zoned where you can have that tenants, know what that is.
Yes, I would prefer to make a strip center there. And, if I can fit enough units into that area, so that's something that I've got to get a master planner to do, which I'm in the works of that. And if I can get enough of, units there where I can make it make sense financially, then yes, that's the way I'm gonna go. My business that I know like the back of my hand is the car business,
Sure.
so, that would be, what I would revert to if that didn't work.
So I think, I'll speak real fast and
Okay,
let you
no, go
jump in, Dave. As a board, I think we're more comfortable if you had an actual site plan showing the strip center with how many units and where the buffers is for this gentleman back here.
Okay.
And a little bit further down the road, I'm speaking for myself now. I don't have a problem with a strip center right there.
Okay.
I think that's a good use of the property,
Thank you.
but we don't have anything other than you telling us I
Sure.
might do a strip center or a car lot. And you did make a good list, Michael, so I know going down your list
And
is down the road, but still, for me, an actual site plan, knowing where and what, egress, the whole 9 yards. I know
we've supplied,
financially, you don't want to go too far till you kind of get all this.
we've supplied a site plan to the MPC, 60 by 100 building, 40 parking spots, shows the access. And so that would be a strip center. It's, one parking spot
Did I
per
overlook
150
Yeah, I don't-
square foot.
Yeah, I don't see it in this pack. Is it in this
It's,
package?
page
It was in
15,
last month's packet, wasn't it?
page 15 of the
Yes, last.
submission.
And I'm sure the owner would be, we will be required to put a compatibility
Yes,
buffer
And I know you
on
will
the
be.
east, even though there is a 100-foot control area for the levee board on that east property line, so he'll have even much more of a buffer than,
I mean, they'll still be required to put one,
yeah, and that's no problem.
yes.
So that's on, you said, Michael, that's
So
on
you go
15?
right there. So that's a 60 by 100 building, and what you would, see is 4 separate units is what's typical when they'd be, split the, maybe 25 by 60-foot units is what we typically do. And that shows your parking lot, shows the drive out to Benton Road. We've submitted that to DOTD for preliminary access, just to make sure the drive in that.
That's all I have. So,
Yeah.
that picture.
So, and so, Michael, if it's a automobile sales, what would it look like then?
So I did, it could be similar. I didn't
Parking.
lay that in. I mean, it might still be it'd probably be a little bit smaller building, like maybe I don't know that you need a 6,000 square foot building for that. And then, but, this plan is to kind of show that your parking scenario will work for, an automobile, shop or a strip center.
You know, if it's an automobile, how many cars are you gonna have out there for sale?
Well, all I can, I mean, the name of the game is to stack them deep and sell them cheap, but so, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
all I could ever put in there is what I would try, you know, as long as I could have
The
customer
reason I
parking.
say that is because on Benton Road, I've been past too, that they've crammed so many cars on there, you can't even, if you're on Shed Road and you're looking to the right, you can't even see, they've jam-packed them to the street.
Yeah,
And that's another responsibility that I have for the public. If you
Right.
go right over the railroad track right there, they are jam-packed. I don't even know how somebody can drive in the parking lot, there's so many cars there. Those are just things that we have a responsibility to the public.
Well, and we'll be required to submit a
That front
formalized
buffer,
site plan.
yeah. Your front buffer has to be what, Carlotta? I know it's on that plan, but I can't,
Oh, it's landscaping or just
yeah,
20 feet?
landscaping in off of,
Yeah,
Yeah,
20 feet.
so we've got
20
over-
Actually 50 for the building, so it is set back farther.
Yeah.
So also consider for the B3, if he decides to go with auto sales, that is a requirement of the B3. Also with B3, if he does the strip center, then it's allowed fast food restaurants that have the drive-through component, that also has the order box component that would essentially possibly back up to the neighborhood. So all of those things are to be considered. B3, fast food restaurants, automobile sales, repair. B2, he could still have retail restaurants, but no drive-through services would be allowed in that area. So all those things to be considered.
No further questions?
Also with the B3, like he stated, he could be open till midnight with different uses. B2 limits him to 10 PM.
But B2 doesn't get you where you need to be.
I don't think an automobile is
The automobile would
allowed in a
not be
B3.
allowed, but
Would it,
go
what
ahead.
if we did B2, and and I don't know how we would word this, but we'd approve B2, and then if you made the decision you want to do auto, we could do the B3, or is there a way?
They'd have to come back and
They have to come
reapply.
back.
I mean, is there something that you had envisioned with the strip center that needed to be B3?
you know, again, I just want somebody that wants a thriving business not to be limited, you know? If they do B2, then we're limiting them in what business can come in there. You know, B3 kind of opens it up to some other businesses. Of course, the businesses that we've already checked off our list are not going to be in there, but it does open the doors up to some different game, you know, so. And if I decide not to do a strip center and I go B2, well, I can't do a car lot. So, I mean, the property's virtually what it is now, worthless to me, you know, so that's why I'm shooting for B3.
Well, I mean, I think I heard you say you would prefer a strip center.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if this is a solution or not, but if we did B2 and then you may go down the road a bit and decide you want to do a car lot, you come back in here, I wouldn't push back on a car lot for B3 because we'd know what it was. I think that's the hanging point, if you will, is we're just not really sure what. And B3 really opens the door to anything. And once you cross that, you just can't, it's difficult to go back.
And just because you line it out on that sheet doesn't legally require you to abide by that. Once it's approved B3, you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, I mean, and for what it's worth, and this is just me, but I would be fine with B2 if you want to go toward the, I don't know if we can do that in here right now or not.
You could downzone it.
But that, I mean, I would not have an issue with that.
Well,
And you could do the strip center, and if something came up and it needed to move to B3, you can come back and present it again.
yeah, and everything you got listed in here fits in a B2, does it not, Carlotta?
It
Going down
does
his
with
list,
the-
everything on your list would go in a B2,
Yeah,
Except for the car lot.
except for the
Except for the
car
car
lot.
lot.
But then if you decide to go that route, we're not opposed to that.
We just need to know
So-
exactly what's
So
happening.
hear me out. So if he goes that route, it gets to B3, y'all have no problem with rezoning it B3, he and anybody else in the city, they can sell that property, they can do B3. And so I think anything that you're rezoning needs, you need to look at that. In my opinion,
I
I'm trying to
agree.
tell you,
I think we all
We
agree with
completely
you, Mike.
agree
you
with
need to
that.
look
We
at
do.
the site itself and say, is this a good area for B3? And I just don't see how this is not. I mean, you got B3 next door, and you've got a power facility. And so as a,
But when they came in and got the B3, they said, we're building a bank right here. And that's what they did. You're given, right now, two different options. We don't have a clue what you're gonna do with it.
well, then how about we just say we're doing a car lot right now?
Then that would work.
Yeah.
If you said you're gonna do in a car lot,
You're doing a car
but
lot.
I mean, the site plan and everything going forward would have to be car lot.
I don't think that's true, because every other thing that y'all done B3, it gets rezoned and they're able to change it. So we can just say,
The site
let's just
plan
do,
comes back, it'll have to be the car lot, is what I'm saying.
no, but none of the other B3s in the city have to come back. They can come in there and do whatever they want.
It's case by case. It just depends on what it is. I mean, if they're going from a B2 to a B3, depending on the types of uses, sometimes they have to add more parking. Sometimes if the use change behind it, they'll have to add a compatibility buffer. There's no, it's
No
not
box that
apples
everything
to
fits
apples
in.
here, yeah.
But in those
Everything's
situations, when they leave, it becomes, they can do whatever they want and they don't have to come to
Yeah,
y'all.
that's a valid point.
That's true.
And so I think from a board, and obviously I'm not trying to tell y'all how to do y'all's job. Y'all know way more about this than I do. Y'all been doing it a long time. But I think from a board's perspective, you want to look at the area that you're doing your rezoning in. And is it good for a B3 here versus is it good for a B2? Because I think that's just, that's just my opinion. And I think this property is excellent for B3. I mean, you're on Benton Road with B3 around you. I'm not sure what raceway and everything around the raceway is, probably
Where about?
B3 as well.
Where about?
Huh.
Which one?
The raceway across pretty much across the street with,
Center and some other properties behind the Raceway on Benton Road. I believe that's all B3. And that strip center, I can tell you, they didn't know who was gonna be in there.
Which one, the strip center behind where the coffee shop is?
Yeah, right in there.
All
where
that
the
was
co-
brought
It
before us. I
came
knew
before us,
exactly.
but
Okay.
they have no neighbors either. It's the railroad.
But they knew who their tenants were gonna be prior to the build? Okay.
Yeah.
but if they were to ever leave, they can do whatever they want.
Within the B3,
That's-
Right.
They can.
Sure.
Yeah, that's true. Look
where
very
there are no
valid.
protected uses back there either. I think that's the issue. They're trying to make sure that they protect the people on the east side as well.
And I understand that, but we have a bayou with a 100-foot control levee board. We'll put a compatibility buffer on top of it. I'm sure Mr. Ardesi would agree to a fence, as part of that buffer and whatever landscape. But, I drove by there today and it has been cleared, but from me driving by Benton and looking that way, it's still a good wooded section where I couldn't see the house from Benton Road. I mean, maybe if you, and so there's still a good buffer there. And then we can do some other things to enhance it. Going back, I think this is a perfect spot for B3, and I think that's what you gotta lean towards, when making these types of decisions, but ultimately, it is y'all's decision.
This property has been just an eyesore on Benton Road for years and years, and now when somebody wants to enhance and bring, retail stores in, we're,
See, we're not pushing back on that at all. All we're asking for is detail.
I understand. It's hard, again, it's hard to get those tenants in when, it's hard to sell them a dream, so to speak. you know, so it's like, again, if you build it, they will come, so, sort of thing, so.
Okay, you think you gotta ask for a motion if someone will give one?
Yeah, I'll go with Alfred to make a motion. If it passes, it passes. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Just from a staff perspective, we would recommend one zoning or the other. We wouldn't prefer a scratch-off method of any sorts because we aren't able to enforce it. Even if they self-deed restrict, that's not something that we can enforce. So it would either need to be B2, all B2, B3, all B3. If they want to self-restrict, that's fine, but I have no way of regulating it.
I'm just trying to continue. You know.
Okay.
Are we ready for a motion? I make a motion that we accept CZON 67-2025 for B3.
Second.
I think we're looking for one more vote.
No, it's on me.
Motion carries.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, Katie, if you don't mind reading our next agenda item.
All right, we have PZON 562025, the application of Ryan Estes, Rayleigh and Associates for Wine Adams Bossier Property Group LLC, requesting a zoning amendment to change the zoning classification of a certain tract of land being 5.476 acres more or less from B1 Limited Business to B3 General Business, located at 2240 Vansfield Road, Bossier Parish, Louisiana, for a multipurpose retail sales and service, Police Jury District 6.
Ryan Estes, Raylan Associates, 4913 Shed Road. So this site's the exact same thing, a little bit further north, requesting B3. There is no residential around. On the south side, we have a large bayou that's buffering any sort of residential. To the rear of the site, which would be to the east of the site, we have B1 already zoned all the way to the residential, and we're going to keep it that way to buffer the residential from any of the heavy commercial. We're in talks with a couple of convenience stores guys looking at developing on this hard corner. We've discussed these issues with the access connections with the OTD. You know, we've been in contacts with the karate dojo and the gunsmith, and we're still gonna have to come back to y'all for plating approval whenever, you know, because this is only for zoning. So we still have to come back to you for plating approval. But this is the site plan that we are proceeding forward with. So I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. And we did the same thing, and we're still going to do, by scratching off, we're still going to take those more, let's say, intensive B3 uses out of the picture. And we still will abide by that. I know that y'all really can't enforce that, but this is his development, and that's what he's wanting to do, to not have those portions in it.
Just from a staff perspective, if you decided to go with the scratch-off method, how would you continually enforce that?
Well, and after the property's sold, unless without deed restrictions, there's no other way to do it. But as long as he's in control of the property, which he will be until all of the properties are sold, there's essentially gonna be a property owners association. Because if you look at the site plan we have, there's a lot of cross-access agreements, there's a lot of roadway stuff, so, and again, until that is finished, he's gonna be a part of the development. And we still gotta come back to the parish for construction plans, we gotta come back to the parish for plating, so this would not be the last time y'all look at this property, this will be, you know, I'm assuming the parish is gonna have some sort of comments that are going to, like the plating comments, so y'all gonna have to take a look at this again. But this is what we're proceeding forward with at this time.
So Ryan, all of these, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 properties, are all those 6 properties along Benton Road? That's what you want, B3?
Yes, if you look,
I'm okay with that, so just, so.
yeah,
of the six-
if it doesn't have a building on it, it's staying B1. So if you see if, at the end of these site plans, I can highlight it, but at the end of the site plans, we got an updated legal description, but any building that is not specifically, yeah, so the legal description, I'll only just, can I walk up there?
Yes,
Yeah, if you
absolutely.
could, please.
Coming up from the hard corner, keep scrolling up just a little bit. Well, anything past this line, up to this property line, over and down. Now, I don't think we rezoned that, it's unusable anyway, it's all
Okay.
levy board. But anything outside of these bounds is remaining B1.
B1, okay. So,
Yeah, so
my,
light commercial.
yeah, so my only concern was, you got that all B3. What I didn't want to see is some B1s mixed in with B3s and vice versa.
No, we're gonna.
It's clearly separate.
Intensive on the front, less intensive in the rear, in the back.
Okay.
So those, and all of that is gonna be a commercial subdivision, will be done in phases, so you're gonna be probably seeing this, you know, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, because with the cost of the development nowadays, you can't go out and do one big blanket commercial subdivision. It's just
Residential.
too expensive.
And residential is way down the road.
Residential is not gonna be on this
Not
track.
even in that picture, is it?
But yeah,
Not on this picture
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but residential, you have one large property owner directly east, and then you have Autumn Creek. I mean, I think there's probably a few more owners, but
Autumn
then
Creek is up the road.
Autumn
so-
Creek's the main other one. And it's a mile away, maybe,
Some ways.
half mile, half
or-
mile,
Half or quarter or something.
at the corner of, yeah. And we're gonna have to there's a lot of approvals, there's a lot of development that has to go on. We have no sewer, so we have to go all the way to Autumn Creek. So, you know, in order to make this proceed, we have to, you know, get it through y'all first and then start dealing with the parish.
Okay. No questions?
Right. Anybody else on the board have any more questions? I'm going to open it up to public comment. If there's anybody that would like to speak on behalf of this one? Anybody want to make a motion? I'll have to abstain.
Make a motion that we zone PZON 56-2025 B3.
Second.
Motion carries. All right. Katie, number 6 on the agenda.
We have C, USE 1242025, the application of Georgetta Toys GCM Jewelry requesting a 20-foot landscaping buffer waiver located at 1705 Old Minden Road, Bossier City, Louisiana, northwest intersection of Benton Spur and Old Minden Road, City Council District 3, Police Jury District 9.
If you don't mind stating your name and telling us a little bit about your project.
I am Craig Toys. Luckily, Georgette is my wife. She'd be better up here, but she's lost her voice. And we are proud to present GCM Jewelry's relocation and our expansion of our business that we've been here in Bossier now a little over 25 years. And currently, we're on Clovis. And our daughter, who's at the office diligently working, along with our other teammates, our jewelers, and our other salespeople, we have taken the old Burger King and Dax, and it's not the same. We're bringing some traditional, first class. We're excited to present this. It's going to be it's a dream, it's a thought that we've had. We've been looking to expand for about 5 years, and we looked at other parts. This building came available. It checked all the boxes, north, south, east, and west, and we're looking forward to spending another 25 to 50 years at this location. So we're remodeling, and what we're asking for is a little variance on the landscaping part. And the reason is, we're very excited about, we remodeled this existing building for cost purposes and everything else with the existing property. We've got lots of good parking, but we want to we are a jewelry store, and we have some security issues. So we have a plan that you should have that shows how we're doing landscaping on the Posada side, and then it comes to a wrought iron fencing that we're gonna do on the side and the back behind the building with wrought iron gates, which will have automatic gate closers. That's going to be for our staff to park, and it also gives security because we have a full building generator back there with 2 new AC units. I don't want customers being able to drive around that part during the day, much less in the evening, because there will be security and it'll be zoned to keep people from approaching or attacking the building. But to improve the coming and going, the entrance and the exit, we want to maintain the entrance on the west side. And therefore, customers could come in and around like they do now. We took out what was a play area originally that Burger King had done. So we're going to have a lane there, but we want to do heavy landscaping along the building. So we have a front porch, and if you please stop by anytime, and we can start making appointments now for Christmas. And you'll see we have a front porch. We're trying to give it a feeling. I'm going to welcome you into my home, into my house on the corner of Benton and Old Minden Road. And that's the type of feeling. So we've got this blue stone slate that's already down and the type of ceilings that we're doing. It's going to be flower beds that are going to be multi-layered, that go out, and then it comes around onto the south side of the building. So we want all that, and we're going to have trees going up with the logo in the middle of that parapet wall. Someone say right, parapet?
Parapet.
Yeah. And
And so I think you want a reduction at the street, right?
so instead of putting the landscaping at the street, we want to clean that up. I've got a contractor coming in that's going to saw cut and clean up to the street level where we have grass, where the customers can drive in without being impeded, coming and going. They won't be obstructed their view coming in and out of Old Minden Road there. But the landscaping is just going to be up against the building.
Yeah, we
And-
like that. One of my concerns was people coming very fast from toward the west, and then as you're trying to come out, I didn't want a bunch of trees up there. I think that would hinder, it could
Yeah,
cause an
and
accident.
just overall, with the landscaping we're doing on the front porch, the way it's going to wrap around onto the south side and on and around the west side.
West side.
And
Yeah.
then it comes to a wrought iron gate, and on the other ends of the gate.
Yeah. No,
We're
I
giving it
think
kind of
it's-
a New Orleans-y, Louisiana kind of feel.
Yeah.
That's the whole premise, and just real excited to be moving and expanding. We've just outgrown our space.
Yeah, I think it's a good, safe plan.
Beautiful building.
Thank you.
Does anybody
no-
have
no
any
further
questions?
No.
I'll open it up to public comment. Okay. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve C 124-2025.
Second?
Thank you very much. Look forward to being around for a long time.
Okay.
Motion carries. Okay. All right.
We have PPUD 87-2025, the application of Lloyd Dodson, Dodson Properties LLC, requesting an amended planned unit development for Two Oaks Storage and Plaza, being 12.930 acres more or less, for a proposed shopping center located at 5150 Highway 80, Bossier Parish, Louisiana, Police Jury District 2.
How y'all doing today?
Good. Mr. Dodson, you got anything different than what we had?
We're gonna change the whole thing. No, it's just, I'm waiting on y'all to stamp it where I can get a bulldozer in there and go to work. I'm ready.
Well, you ain't waiting on us, Lloyd.
All right, we'll stamp it and I'll have a tractor over there today.
No questions.
I have no question.
Yeah.
We go to the police jury next, I guess,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Carla, when is that?
Just for the zoning.
just for the zoning
Yes.
and everything else.
Yes, this stays
we
with
turn
us.
loose.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll open it up to any public comment. Okay, I don't think we have any. Can I have a motion?
Yeah, make a motion, we approve P-PUD 87-2025.
Second.
Motion carries.
Good deal.
Get it cranked.
All right, thank y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Yes.
All right. All right, Katie, number 8.
All right, COFFSIG 139-2025, special call, the application of Stonebridge Development LLC requesting approval of a 4x8 off-premise sign being a residential electronic message center located in Section 12, Township 18, Range 13, Bossier City, Louisiana, southwest intersection of Stonehaven Drive and Stonebridge Boulevard, City Council District 4, Police Jury District 5.
You'll just tell us a little bit about your request and your name.
Sure, I'm Harold Watson. I live in Stonebridge. I've lived there for 18 years. I've managed the operations of Stonebridge Community Association, Inc., which is our homeowners association, for the last 15 years. We've had we consider on premises fixed media sign for about 13 years. And we'd like to replace that sign with a modern LED sign that would be intended for community messages, a very limited amount of advertising for residents who live in Stonebridge, no outside advertising of any kind. The sign would be one-sided, does not face any homes. We are leasing the property. It is on a 99-year ground lease with John Good Development. We think it's a good thing. I can answer any questions you have about it.
Do we have any questions?
No?
I really don't have questions.
Just in general, would the sign be on 24 hours or just a certain amount of time?
24 hours.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm going to open it up to public comment and see if there's anybody in the audience. Okay. I don't think we have any.
Have you had any resistance from inside the homeowner association?
We've had a couple of people who have expressed concerns about it. I think we've adequately addressed those concerns. Initially, there was some thought to a two-sided sign, and that was quickly squashed because that would be facing some residents, but other than that,
Okay.
No?
This was probably approved an HOA meeting or?
It was approved, it was discussed at the last annual homeowners meeting. The board took it under consideration, decided it would be a good thing. We have an opinion letter from Jeff Westmoreland saying that the homeowners association board and the architectural control committee have the authority to act on behalf of the homeowners association.
Okay.
So it has not actually, will it go before a vote with the
No.
homeowner association? It will not go before a vote, okay.
Anything else? Have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve C OFFSIG 1392025.
Second.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Katie, it looks like we have one miscellaneous.
It's going to be CMISC 1362025, a resolution supporting the 2025 Air Installation Compatibility Use Zone Study, AQ's study for Barksdale Air Force Base by promoting proactive, collaborative planning and compatible development to sustain mission and community objectives.
We have been working on updating the AQs for the last, a little over a year, and at this time, we want to pass a resolution stating that we will now go off of this latest plan. So I will read the resolution for the record. A resolution supporting the 2025 Air Installation Compatible Use Zone Study for Barksdale Air Force Base by promoting proactive, collaborative planning for compatible development to sustain mission and community objectives. Whereas the Barksdale Air Force Base is a vital asset to the state of Louisiana, Bossier City, Bossier Parish, and the surrounding region, serving as a major contributor to national defense, regional economic development, and community stability. And whereas the Air Installation Compatibility Use Zone Program was developed by the United States Air Force to promote public health, safety, and welfare in areas subject to aircraft operations by encouraging compatible land uses around air installations. And whereas the Barksdale 2025 AQ study provides updated analysis and recommendations regarding noise contours, accident potential zones, and compatible land use guidelines to ensure the long-term viability of Barksdale Air Force Base operations. And whereas the Barksdale 2025 AQ study further assists local governments and planning authorities, including the Bossier City MPC, in their efforts to integrate compatible land use zoning, planning, and development regulations. And whereas the continued collaboration between Barksdale Air Force Base, the City of Bossier City, the Parish of Bossier, and regional partners is essential to preserving mission readiness while ensuring safe and sustainable growth within the community. I just wanted to bring this before you. It's an excellent program, and we're here to support Barksdale Air Force Base. Simon Zika, who was also an essential partner in helping us facilitate this latest guide, is here in the audience as well in support of it. So we wish to pass this at this time.
All right.
Do we
No
need
question.
anything from
Any
public?
comments from the public?
Yeah. And no questions from the board? All right. Can I have a motion?
Okay, I make a motion, we approve C miscellaneous 136-2025.
Second.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be moving into our preliminary hearings. Katie, do you mind reading the first one?
All right, we have CTELET 121, 2025, the application of John Jacobs, Bradley Murchison, Kelly and Shay for Municipal Communications LLC, AT&T, requesting approval of a 140-foot telecommunications tower at 1315 Northgate Road, VFW Post 5951, Bossier City, Louisiana, City Council District 2, Police Jury District 10.
Good afternoon, John Jacobs here from Bradley, Murchison, Kelly and Shay on behalf of the applicant Municipal Communications LLC for the reference telecommunications tower application. Here to answer any questions you might have. I also have Mr. John Throckmorton, who is the Vice President at Municipal Communications, and an AT&T engineering rep who I could call if y'all have any more technical questions that I may not be able to answer. So as y'all saw in our plans, we are proposing a 140-foot monopole at the southwest corner of the VFW post off Northgate Road. Municipal already has a lease agreement with the VFW for the construction of this tower. And once the tower is constructed or approved and constructed, Municipal will pay the VFW a one-time bonus as well as monthly rental payments. The VFW plans to use these payments to repair their roof, as well as, their community outreach programs that they do for the school and just for the events around town. So just moving on to the application itself, I noticed on the thing posted with the agenda that it said it was a 140-foot monopole with a 3-foot lightning rod. Like, I actually talked to Mr. Zika previously, and that's where, at the request of Barksdale, Municipal has reduced that lightning rod to 142 feet so we don't break airspace and we don't need to have an additional permit from them.
Yeah, I think we have that in here. We were concerned for national security type purposes,
Right.
a tower there, but it looks like you guys have got everything with Barksdale covered.
Yes, sir. And also, in response to staff review, we've also submitted our statement of fall zone, a landscaping plan, and we also removed a sign that wasn't permitted under the Unified Development Code. And late last week, like Friday afternoon, which not a great time to submit anything, but we submitted the tower design that we plan to use for the monopoles. So if y'all have any additional questions, feel free to let me know.
Is this, is your partner, Mr. Murkison, he's not from Natchitoches, is he?
I don't know the answer to that.
There's attorneys from there, I
What?
just was kind of curious.
But
No,
his
I don't know.
first name is Malcolm, if that's what I'm.
Okay. No
No
questions.
questions? Anyone else have any questions?
What's the use of the tower for? Who's what carrier?
AT&T.
AT&T?
Right.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, can I have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve Tele T 121-2025.
That's, to go to
Move it to
public
public
hearing.
hearing, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
then I'll second.
Thank y'all very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Motion carries.
You bet.
Okay, next we have PZON 118-2025, the application of Michael Kelch, Rayleigh and Associates for East Highland, requesting a zoning amendment to change the zoning classification of a certain tract of land, being 7.129 acres more or less, from RA residential agriculture to RMHP residential manufactured housing park, located in section 16 to section Township 18 North, Range 12 West, Bossier Parish, Louisiana, for an addition to East Highland Mobile Home Park. It's Police Street District 2.
Hey, good afternoon, Michael Kelch, Rayleigh and Associates. As I think y'all have a master plan that we submitted that shows 32 additional lots to the expansion of East Highland Mobile Home Park. Here to answer any questions. We've met with the staff, I think, a couple times, and the parish was part of those meetings as well. So here to answer anything. If y'all have anything y'all want me to go back to the owners.
Concerns as a buffer between Espinita and the mobile home park? And then also the drainage of that, Michael. I know that water runs down that hill, and I know we're just dealing with zoning.
Sure.
But, so, that's just, speaking for myself, that's some of the concerns that I have anyway.
Okay.
I'm
yeah.
not saying it can't be done, but I'm just, antennas up on that, I guess.
Yeah, and as going forward, I guess, question is, as part of the buffer, can that be a fence, or is it needing to be a,
I'm gonna defer to Carlotta on that.
I mean, it can be a fence or it could be a wall.
yeah, some sort of wall or fence, and I don't think our client has any issue with that. I think that's expected.
Michael, have you been to that site where as Donnie says, where that street, there's a lot of water
Yeah,
that
there's a-
rolls.
Yeah, V's right in there even.
Kind of where we, on the master plan, where we show lot 1,000 and lot 1,001, we're expecting to have to do some sort of
Something,
drainage
okay.
to capture all that water.
Yeah,
and
and then I don't
route-
know, are you going to slow it down up ahead a little bit, maybe where it just doesn't, it's a running river. I
Yeah,
mean, at times.
we'll have to get with, that's a dedicated drainage servitude, so we'll have to get with the parish and figure
Yeah.
out how to make sure we
I
don't.
haven't been over there in a while, but I have seen
Right.
that thing really roll.
Absolutely, yeah, yep. We'll have to capture that drainage and work through that.
What's the latest on the sewer?
We are going, so just background on the sewer, that there's a lift station that's in that detention area that we show, that kind of common lot, but that's at capacity, from talking with the parish. So we're gonna try to tie into, there's, East Highland has their own, has its parish sewer, but
I
we're gonna
got you.
tie back into East Highland. We've got our survey crew going out and tying down manholes to see if we can gravity into it, or if we
May have to lift station that, huh?
might have to, which, it wouldn't be good for the client, but by the public meeting, we'll have answers on that.
Michael, as it's proposed right here, just be aware that the school board may not send buses into that area
Okay,
because of turnaround purposes. But there is I
Sure.
understand, a bus stop.
how do they pick up in East Highland, right? Do they drive through
They
East Highland?
do drive through, but in there, they can't turn the bus around.
Okay.
As it's
Right.
platted now.
Sure, so they might have to be at the, they
where-
might have
where-
to walk into the existing
Right.
East Highland.
And I think where you may be taking two mobile homes at, that is a bus stop in front of there.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
okay. No further questions.
Any other questions?
You're not asking for B3, are you?
Might go back
We
there.
can still be friends, huh?
By the way, for the record, the last time this land came before us, it was split to be residential. Now, it didn't say what kind of residential,
Yeah,
but it was split to be residential. It led us to believe houses, but this is residential. So,
gotcha. Yeah, I expect maybe some people at the public hearing, so we'll see.
I don't think so.
That's what I say, so be prepared for
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? All right, can I have a motion?
that. Go ahead.
I'd make a motion that we move P-zone 118-2025 to public hearing.
Second.
Motion carries.
Thank y'all.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so next on the agenda, I need approval for
I'll-
the
I'll make-
minute.
I'll make a motion, we approve the August 11, 2025 minutes as written.
Second.
Motion carries, and I also need approval on the August 14th minutes.
Make a motion, we approve the August 14th special call meeting minutes as written.
Second.
Motion carries. All right, we have some old and new business. Carlotta?
Yes, I wanted to just bring up, or have a policy discussion about outstanding balances. We did an internal audit of our fees in August, late August, and discovered we were about 12 grand upside down. And so we want to put some stipulations in place with regards to payment. We have tried to be a good business partner, and in turn, we have not been paid. So in the last couple of weeks, we have been a bill collector. It has not been fun, and I do not want to do it again. Katie and Madison bore the brunt of a lot of those discussions, going back with people, back and forth about payment and how it should be paid, when it should be paid, if it should be paid. So going forward, we will put some stops in place. So with regards to certificate of occupancies, we will no longer inspect without the fee being paid. Right now, there's a substantial amount of people on the list that have not paid. We will now move forward with the typical violation where they will be issued a violation notice. We'll give them time to comply. If they do not comply, then we will issue them a ticket and we'll go to court. So that's how we plan to move forward with certificate of occupancies. If the certificate of occupancy is invalidated, legally, they are not supposed to be in business because their occupational license will also be invalid. So that's how we plan to move forward with certificate of occupancies and non-payment. Now, with regard to plan review, any items that come before this board, we still have a couple of outstanding items, but upon receipt of the application and upon us approving that it actually moves forward, we will give them a certain time frame to pay those invoices, and if they do not pay, they will not be heard at the next agenda. I mean, we have to put a stopgap there, because if we continue to do the work and not get paid, it's just, moving bad information after not. And we will also not allow them to submit any new applications until they're current on their accounts. So we've gone from almost $12,000 to now we're only owed $1,800, but it has not been easy, and we do not want to do this again. So we want to be business friendly, but we have to have our fees in order to continue to do the work that we do.
Okay, so you had discovered y'all were 12,000 behind, and now y'all are to 18?
18, yes. But it has been very difficult, and we'll also put some other stipulations in place. I think there was some unawareness and maybe some misconceptions about payment. I think we had one particular gentleman state that it's not his responsibility to pay, it should be the property owner's responsibility to pay, but whenever they submit inside of the InterGov system, if they only list themselves, then they're responsible for payment. It's not up to us to try to track down 15 property owners to get them to pay. And so we'll probably put out some other policy guidelines going forward so that they're aware that if they put themselves in the system and they mark themselves, or if there's the billing contact, then that's who we're going to bill and expect payment from. So we just wanted to put that on the record, that will be the policy going forward unless the board sees that we need to do something different. But, I mean, there has to be a hard stop on payment, and I think we've arrived there because of the non-payment issues we've had in the past. Any other questions? I know they have been taking the phone calls and sending the emails, so it wasn't fun the last 2 weeks, but we've made good progress.
Good. Thank you, ladies. All right. We also have our ethics training. Just kind of want to remind everyone, I've gotten most of you, but if you haven't done it, please complete it and send it in to me so I can.
You got all the way to December.
You do. You have all the way to December. It's okay. I haven't done mine either. I'm terrible, but I got it on my to-do list this week. So, okay.
And also, we do have a new social media manager, Anna Grace. She's gone for now, but you will see her on occasion at events here at the meeting. So make sure you tell her which side is your good side so that she can post those for you.
Thanks, Carlotta.
That's all I
Anything
got.
else? All right.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry, Neil.
Public comment.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll have a question for you
Sure.
after.
Sure. I was planning to talk to you, too. Remember, at the last meeting, I said that you could expect a Second Circuit decision, and Carlotta already may have reported on it in terms of short-term rentals, and whether they would be allowed or not. The trend nationally is to allow them, regardless of homeowners association rules. But the Second Circuit did rule about 2 weeks ago, and it ruled that our homeowners association, since I'm reporting on this since it's next door to our house, they ruled that if your homeowner association, just as Art had anticipated, if it says no commercial use, that applies to short-term rentals. And that's a pretty big decision and somewhat contrary to the trend nationally, but follows precedent in this district of the Second Circuit Court of Appeal in North Louisiana. So they can appeal that the owners can appeal that to the Supreme Court. I will be surprised if the Supreme Court accepts it. And so this may be the end of the line in terms of that issue, with the decision being that at least in North Louisiana, if your homeowner association says no commercial use, then that applies to short-term rentals as well.
But if there's no homeowners association, then it's still open?
That sounds like it.
Yeah.
When was that decision made, Neil?
About 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Carlotta has a copy of it.
I can forward it to you.
Yeah.
A lot of the homeowners associations were concerned that their covenants and deed restrictions didn't cover this type of use because they didn't have the foresight, nor did we, that Airbnbs would even be a subject. But now that it's here, that ruling gives them some teeth to their covenants to
If
enforce
somebody
it.
operates a commercial business out of that neighborhood, then short-term rentals are fair game. Is that right?
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's think about it. Short-term rentals were seen to be in the category of commercial operations. Now, I will tell you now, it was a question mark in my mind in terms of home occupational uses. And that came up, during the trial and everything else, with saying, but look, you've got Mary Kay Cosmetics, why can't I have a short-term rental? That didn't fly with the district court or with the Court of Appeal. Judge Cox is the one who wrote the decision. And so I just bring this up just so you'll know that short-term rentals were found to be different than a home occupation, or at least it didn't convince them that they were the same. And therefore, if you have a home occupation, no signs, no anything else, I think those would probably still be allowed, but short-term rentals will not, as being in what the judges
That would
have
be considered a
conceived to
rental,
be
wouldn't it?
different. What's that?
If you're just having a home office per se, it's really not a rental, it's an extension of your home, maybe? I'm just asking,
Oh, right, yeah.
because you're not, like you said, you're not really doing business with signs and customers and
No.
so forth and so on. It's just strictly your little, paperwork area, basically.
Right, I thought, well, that's even less of an impact than a home occupation. That's just a home office.
Yeah,
So those are fine.
yeah, obviously, that's fine, yeah.
Sure. Home occupations, I think, are still fine as long as they follow the rules.
Yes.
But Airbnbs, depending on the homeowners association language, no commercial operations are now out. Now, who's going to enforce it? It's going to have to be the homeowners association.
That was my next question, is who's responsible for enforcement of
Right.
it? Just the
Because
homeowners
you have
association?
Broadmoor, I know there's a lot of
There's
Airbnb
a lot
stuff
of
in Broadmoor,
rentals in Broadmoor.
but there's no HOA
Not-
active in
not
Broadmoor.
that I know of.
Don't know of. I have
So-
no property there, but I don't think there is.
But you're correct in terms of saying who enforces. It's not a zoning issue. It is a private contractual issue, the homeowners association. Thank you.
Thank you, Neil. Okay, anything else, Carla? All right, we'll adjourn.
Okay, I do, now that, are we off?
We're off.
Hang on.
Hang on.
Attorney General Liz